This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
How would you like to get more customers, make more profits, and have bigger breakthroughs? Get Doberman Dan's profit-boosting breakthroughs. Normally, this would cost you $98 per month, but right now, for listening to this show, he's giving you a free copy of his Doberman Dan letter. All you have to do is go to DobermanDan.com and sign up to get your free copy now.
Prepare yourself for the uncensored, nothing held back, no BS reality of how business and life really work. Doberman Dan is off the chain.
So, I want to put you on the spot today, Dan, and I think that the canine crew needs to know what you're doing behind the scenes, and so I want to talk about the Gold Mastermind. Would that be okay?
Oh, thank God. Okay. For a minute when you said that Canine Crew wants to know what I'm doing behind the scenes, I thought you were referring to something else, which I certainly can't talk about that.
We're going to turn on the camera and see that you are recording these shows with no pants on.
No, that's right. I've got no pants on. I feel so much freer this way.
The pantless
and I feel
podcast.
like I can really be me.
The revolution.
Why do I need pants, even with the camera on? Because nobody sees me from the waist down. So I feel free. I can fly. I can be free. I can hang out.
Literally. All right. No, let's get serious here. This is serious stuff, man. So look, I'm fortunate enough to be a part of the Gold Mastermind. So I'm grateful to be in that environment and grateful to have access to you. But how long have you been doing this thing?
Let me see. When did I launch that bad mamma jamma? Jeez, did I first start it in 2012? Maybe end of 2012, first part of 2013. Took a little break for a while and for a year and then started to back up. So, I mean, on and off, I guess, 4 years.
Oh, wow. So it's been going on a lot longer because I've been in about a year now. And it's always an interesting room. It's like it's doctors and it's copywriters and it's where the hell are these people knights of your Camelot, or where do you find these people? Where do you find us people?
Yes. So the only people that I offered the opportunity to be in my Gold Mastermind is the only people who had that opportunity are the knights in my Marketing Camelot. Which you can find out about at marketingcamelot.com. Shameless plug. Can't help myself.
You got to have that. You got to have that. All right. So, Dan, what I find interesting, and so I want to let you in. I hope they won't get mad at me, but I want to let you in on some of the stuff that we talked about. So you don't know this. After we finished our second day, I went down to the bar and I started doing some work. And then all of a sudden, Sean comes down, Bob comes down, Jeff comes down, and we're all drinking, talking about the last couple days. And I got some insight from people that I think I should share with you before we talk about how you came up with the structure.
Oh, I'd love to hear about this because I'm not privy to this information. No one has shared it with me.
Well, you know what I did.
So I'm hesitantly going to let you reveal this.
So I was tricking these people. I was downstairs and I already had a tab open, and I started, when they came down, they got drinks, and I waited till about the second drink to ask them what they thought. So they were a little looser. Not the buttoned up responses that you would expect, but people had a good experience, and there's one that I want to talk about in a little bit, but people just feel like you genuinely care. And so these people are experienced. They've been around different masterminds, different amounts of investment that they put into themselves. And one of the things that's always frustrating to people is how the masterminds don't really seem like a mastermind anymore. They seem more like just like 10-minute hot seats and people being social and everyone leaving the event without anything more than they came in with. And so yours is totally different. So I'm wondering how you came up with the structure the way you do it.
Interesting timing on your question, because after the mastermind meeting, I decided that my next issue of the Doberman Dan letter is going to be if I were to title it, it were to be Why Masterminds Suck. Because you, all right, so let's look at reality here and why you see so many gurus or thought leaders or whatever pitching masterminds, because it can be a really profitable thing. If you're charging 5 figures, for a year's worth of mastermind meetings, I've seen price points from anywhere from 5,000 to 30,000 for the year. So when you have those kind of price points, and especially if people pay that in full, it's a big cash flow infusion. It's a big surge of money. People whip it out. Their checkbooks, that is, and write you these big checks. So it's profitable, and I think that's why we see these masterminds. They just keep growing. I mean, 20, 30, 40, 50 people in a mastermind, 100 people in a mastermind. In my mind, those are not masterminds. Right. Those are seminars in social clubs, and highly priced seminars and social clubs too. Because my idea of a mastermind, and the reason mine is kept deliberately small, is that each person gets the individual attention they need for their breakthrough, whatever that breakthrough happens to be. And you can't help people get that breakthrough when all you do is rapid fire ideas out at them for 10 minutes. It's like going to the doctor and you describe your ailment or ailments, plural, and the doctor just starts, before you even get one word out of your mouth, well, doc, it all started, and he just starts rapid firing, writing prescriptions and throwing it at you. Take this, take this, take this, take this, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye, lard ass. And another obscure 80s reference. If anybody knows that reference, call our off-the-chain hotline and tell us, where is Bye-bye Lard Ass from? What's our hotline again?
321-424-6043. Again, that number is 321-424-6043.
There you go. So these big groups, seminars, social clubs, not masterminds. My idea of a mastermind is each person, they get a hot seat, but you have the time to diagnose the problem. Here's a great example. One couple there, Jeff and Susie Hirsch, who are veterinarians. They have a very successful veterinary clinic in Colorado. They also have a supplement business. Long story short, so that was our last meeting of this year. So I do 3 in-person meetings a year. Each meeting is a 2-day meeting. It was finally at that 3rd meeting. I mean, each person had like an hour and 45 minutes on the hot seat. And finally, I was able, and I say we, the group, the Hirsches and me, were finally able to adequately and correctly diagnose their biggest issue and solve it. It took all freaking year to do that. And I also do virtual meetings in between our in-person meetings. So we meet on GoToWebinar. And also my Gold Mastermind members have access to me. I mean, they're the only people I give my personal cell phone number to and just tell them, when you need me, call me. So all year to solve that. And it was a crucial issue, super duper uber important to solve that, both for them personally and professionally. And it took all year to do that. How in the hell do you do that for somebody when you've got a mastermind with 50 people and each person gets a 10-minute hot seat? I don't see it.
Yeah, that was one of the things when I first showed up to the first meeting at the, that was over in like Dr. Phillips, so the smaller venue. When I got into that boardroom, I was like, oh, well, this is different. It's just a beautiful boardroom and there's like 4 or 5 people. And I was thinking, all right, this is not any kind of mastermind I've ever seen before. And that was the part that I also found most interesting, because I come from, I invest in myself, and I've been to the hot seat thing, but that's it. Nobody asks questions. Everybody's just throwing out ideas with no context. And to me, it's just like a pissing contest. Who came up with the best idea that nobody needed is what it seems like in some of these places.
That nobody needed. That's funny.
But
there's a guy, a famous guy who has a huge mastermind. He has hundreds of people in it, and it's really high priced. It's 5 figures. And he was pitching one of my friends on it. And my friend is an infomercial legend. He had the most successful infomercial through the entire decade of the 90s. And so this guy was pitching his mastermind to my friend, and he says, "You'll get ideas at the mastermind that, will be worth 2, 3, 4, 10 times more than the 25 grand you'll pay to be in the mastermind." And his reply was, I have more ideas before I finish taking a dump in the morning than I can possibly ever implement. I don't need any more ideas. So I think this rapid firing of ideas at people is just plain dumb.
yeah, it is. And so you've already brought up the thing that I want to talk about, really, because it was my favorite part. And you talk about those breakthroughs and people getting breakthroughs, and in particular, Jeff and Susie making a big breakthrough. But there was like a moment there, like Jeff went for a while and talked about stuff he wasn't passionate about. And there was a moment where it looked like he could explode, like his head was just going to blow up into a million little pieces. And I feel like most other hosts would actually try to get away from that, would try to move on, and you didn't. And you pushed and you got down to the core of the problem. That seemed very brave to me. What was the reason that you did that?
The reason is because I'm trying to get back to the 7-year-old Dan. And what I'm talking about is, for the past couple years, I'm trying to listen to my intuition more, my gut intuition, because I'm finding that intuition is right a lot more times than my brain. My brain logical, analytical thinking is right. And I'm not that good at it. I'm trying to get good at it, of when listening to people, really listening and understanding, or trying my best to understand what it is they're saying, but really listening deep to understand what they're trying to say but not saying, or what they're talking around, or what they're alluding to, or what they're afraid to say. And so, if you remember, Jeff and Susie's hot seat, it was done. He thought it was over. He thought he shared all he needed to share. And my gut told me, no, there's something wrong. And I said, I feel like there's something more you need to share. And that was when we finally got to the real issue. And I think the reason that happened is because one of the ground rules I set down with this group when we first started is, within these walls, this is like Las Vegas, okay? What happens here stays here. The things that are said here, this is a safe zone, okay? You can say anything here. It doesn't matter if it's about business, if it's personal, because in my mind, this is all related. Business is the best personal growth program in the world. And so it's all related. Your personal life is intertwined with your business life, vice versa. Your personal issues and triumphs and challenges affect your business, and vice versa. So, and I think keeping it small has given people that freedom from fear to share those things that they normally wouldn't share. I doubt some of the things that were shared on my mastermind would ever be shared in a mastermind group of, 40, 50 or more people. But, I've tried my best to try to make this like a little extended family. And those are the rules, that this is a no judgment zone. This is a safe zone. Say anything. and when we're brainstorming for ideas, just blurt it out, don't self-edit. Don't think, I'm not going to say that. That's stupid, because that's often the breakthrough idea we need. So, I've tried my best to create that freedom in the room.
Yeah, and I hope I hope I didn't break the trust of the room now because I wanted to talk about this. But that's the other thing. So when we were down there and everybody had a couple drinks and I started probing, finding out what people were into, that was the thing that came up. And that's always been the thing that I've always felt with you, is that you actually care about your people. And so it was just a shining example of that. And that was one of the things. People were so happy downstairs after the session because they know that you care and you are thinking about them, their best interest, no ego involved in that. And so we shared the stories I wanted you to share here. And I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but anything else you want to say as we're wrapping up my probe into your gold mastermind, our little pitch here for it maybe for next year?
Well, again, no, the civilians aren't allowed in. If anybody wants to check out my mastermind, you can't even get information about it until you become knighted into the market in Camelot. And the groups will always be small. If it grows to the point where there are more than, say, 10 to 12 people, then another group will be created. So, again, this might not be my rules for a mastermind, that everybody has to have enough time to get the individual attention they need for their breakthrough. I don't recall that in Napoleon Hill's description of a mastermind in Think and Grow Rich, but that's my definition of a mastermind. It's people have to get the time they need and the attention they need and somebody willing to dig deep enough to give them their breakthrough. So yeah, you probably won't find that in Think and Grow Rich when he talks about the mastermind principle, but it's worked out spectacularly well for my mastermind.
Absolutely. Good stuff. All right. So thank you for indulging me. And thank you, Canine Crew, for tuning in. We'll be back in your earbuds next time. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Canine Crew got a special treat for you, what we are affectionately referring to as the Off the Chain Hotline. Tell us you love us. Tell us you hate us. Ask questions. We don't care. Just call 321-424-6043 and give us a piece of your mind. Thanks for listening. And remember, if you want to create rivers of revenue from your existing customers, then the next thing you need to do is go to DobermanDan.com. He's given away a free copy of his $98 per month Doberman Dan letter just for listening to the show. Go to DobermanDan.com now and sign up for your free issue.
This is the podcastfactory.com.